Yes, Akshay, I think we should take a it's over and participants. And yeah, I think we should take ahead. Before I proceed ahead, my audible lecture.
You're
Rahul,
cutting
I
off,
think,
Rahul.
yeah, you can turn off your video
Your
for time
voice
being.
is breaking.
Yeah, you can turn off the video and you can go in audio mode now. That's fine.
Akshay also froze. Okay, there you are.
I think Rahul is facing some network issue. Just give us a moment.
Yeah. Akshay, am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible, Rahul, but you can turn off your video for time being and just we can go it in audio mode. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the orientation session today. Finally, the wait is over. And as you see, the time has approached to start this orientation session. And today we have gathered for this beautiful Samath orientation session with so many beautiful participants. And any session beauty have enhanced when you see a very qualified people in front of you talking and giving insights for shaping your careers, right? So today I have so many speakers with me. Uh, One of the speaker, I think you already aware about Akshay Bhardwaj, who is our also who is HRBP and our corporate relations and placement head, who is also a qualified SHRM CP. And apart from this, we have Geetanjali ma'am, we have Devasmita ma'am. Geetanjali ma'am is a qualified CA, CPA with a overall 7+ years of experience, and she is going to teach most of the accounting and finance and most of the importance of accounting and finance, importance of auditing, and how accounting and finance playing a very important role in this industry nowadays. But accounting and finance itself cannot be sufficed to get placed into a job. And just to bridge that gap, we have Devasmita ma'am over here, who is also a transitional coach and who carries overall more than 8+ years of experience in shaping careers of aspirants, and going to cover a lot of important topics on how to build resume, how to be a good communication professional, and how to cover how to improve yourself overall through the personality aspect. So before taking a lot of time here, and by the way, I didn't introduce myself, so I think you're aware about this side, Rahul, and I'm the subject matter expert from student engagement team. Without taking much time, I'll be directly requesting all of the panelists to please speak on your part on the session. And before we start, Akshay, would you like to add anything?
Rahul, thank you for the warm welcome. And thank you, Geetanjali ma'am and Devashmita ma'am, for accepting our invite and being here at a short notice. As we are discussing, the agenda of this summer program is quite simple. We want our students to be upskilled in all the aspects, whether it might be technical, whether it might be soft skills, whatever the aspect. Once a student enrolls with Simandhar, he should be that person where there wouldn't be any drawback in him. So that's where we got this program, and I see that a lot of participants are also joined. I wish all of them a great success and a great learning journey for next 3 months of time. So thank you so much, and over to you, Geetanjali ma'am.
Thank you so much, Akshay. Thank you, Rahul, for the warm welcome. First of all, good evening, everyone. Like you study CPA about CMA, it makes you exam ready. Similarly, we have brought up this initiative of Samarth, which will make you interview ready. We have seen students that they have cleared CPA, CMA with very good flying marks, but still they are not able to crack the interviews. Why? Because there are some points which they are ignorant about, or sometimes nobody is there to, guide them at the right way, how to give an interview, what all they should prepare for the interview. So that is why we have started this Samarth initiative. Even you won't believe the small tips like arriving early, be a professionalism in every answer. These small tips also help in nailing down the interview. Now, for example, I have seen that just seeing risk analyst post, financial managerial post, the students or the people, they start applying for the job before even going in detail about the job description, which is very important part. Like if you go in the job description, each and every bullet point is important. Based on that bullet point, you can prepare your resume also. What is relevant from your history, you can pick regarding that and you can put into your resume. Secondly, that job descriptions tells you like what all you should prepare before going for your job interview. What are the topics which are important in accounts, in auditing, maybe in taxation profile, what all you should cover before going there. Now, one is this. Now, after clearing the exams, it is 100% sure that the concepts are clear in your mind, but 100% cannot be remembered. So there should be a list of topics which are mostly and most frequently asked in the interviews, and which all you should be preparing well in advance before appearing in any interview. Like a simple question I would like to ask you all. For example, why do you choose an accounting background? Anyone who can answer, please raise your hand. Why you choose accounting as a career? Why you choose accounting as a career? Anyone? Or I should randomly pick? Okay, so many are raising the hands, and maybe, okay, Harshvardhan, he raised his hand first. So Rahul, can we unmute him?
Yes, we allowed Harshvardhan to talk.
Okay, hi Harsh, how are you? Harsh, you can unmute yourself. Rahul, maybe there is some network issue, I guess.
Yeah, maybe ma'am, we can try with some other person.
Yes. One Yusuf Merchant was also raising hand. Yusuf Merchant. Yusuf? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Yusuf. My just simple question, why do you choose accounting as a career?
I would choose accounting as a career because I have a knack for reading financial statements and reading between the lines.
Okay.
Accounting is, if you can say, it's the clothes of a business. If the clothes are proper, then you know that the enterprise is doing well. But if the clothes are not good, you would always get a picture that no, the person is not proper.
Okay. So very well said, Yusuf. Like Yusuf has answered this question. Instead of just saying, because I'm fond of accounting, I just like accounting, I love accounting. Instead of giving all these answers, what he has said, he has shown us that accounting is like a heart of any business. Okay, it is the cover of any business. Without that, you will never know whether the business is in profit or loss. You will not get a hint. And he loves reading all these financial statements and the gaps. That's why he is studying the. Very well said, Yusuf. Very right answer. So these techniques, how can you answer some questions in the interview rather than just being yourself, which is like normal and friendly self? How you can answer in a professional way, that you will learn in this Samarth program. Apart from these, we will try to cover all the basics of the accounting, because we are assuming that some of the students, they can be from non-accounting background. So we will cover the basics of the accounting in detail, which are relevant not only for the job purpose, but otherwise also in your daily life. When you are dealing in accounting background, in any profile you are working, those basics should be clear regarding accounting. We will cover that. Then the important topics which are generally asked in every interview: what is the difference between US GAAP and IFRS? We will try to touch those topics in detail. Then we will learn about US taxation. That will be taken care of. Some of the lectures will be based on US taxation. And now, oh, obviously, we have all the information, but how to present that information, how to analyze data, how to read data, what are the softwares available in the market these days, which are at a broad level used by the companies, and how can we use them? For example, Microsoft, Google, Outlook, Teams. We will have separate lectures on teaching these tools also, like how can you use these tools in your working life and make your work easy and presentable. After that comes your data analysis part. Apart from teaching everything in detail, it's not like we will just say these topics are important. It's my responsibility in accounting and all that I will cover all the topics in detail, so that even a new beginner can easily understand. After that, after this journey, we will also conduct some mock interviews, which will give you an atmosphere like how in real life the interviews happen and what the interviewer expects from you, how presentation wise also, otherwise your knowledge base also, how what they expect. We will discuss that also in detail. Okay guys, so this was a little heads up about the Samarth program. Looking forward to see you all during this journey. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your insight, and that was really wonderful. I think that you a little overview of how accounting and finance is going to play an important role, not only in the career but in the summer as well. So now I will request Devasmita ma'am to throw some light on the most important aspect, which is, I would not say only soft skills, but as ma'am is a transitional coach, so ma'am will talk more about the transition phase, that what all are the relevancy and what all are the relevant aspects are there that we are going to cover up in this, Saamarth workshop to bring the transition and transformation among the budding aspirants. Devasmita ma'am.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you for the warm welcome. And thank you for the warm welcome. I'm sorry, that was a call hitting my phone. What we are going to do in the coming few days, and this is just a teaser that I'm going to present now. Like Geetanjali ma'am said, you learn something in your institute, you are a CA, CPA, whatever qualification you have, it's great. And then there is a transition that happens to the professional world. And there is a bridge to be gapped. In terms of your knowledge bridge, that is what kind of technical questions and subject matter questions they ask, which will be handled, of course, by Geetanjali ma'am. And there is a soft skill bridge that will be handled by me. So as I was talking to Rahul and Akshay a while back, Geetanjali was also there, that we have found when we talk to HR of any company or the people who hire, they do tell us that people, they come with lovely and absolute accurate qualifications. The degrees are all in place, the qualifications are all in place, but for heaven's sake, they cannot crack an interview. Why? A, They do not know how to answer questions in a more professional manner. Their communication skill, their confidence level, their grooming, the way they wear their clothes, the way they present themselves, their honesty and integrity in terms of showing up. What do you show up? Now, let's remember that in an interview, uh, if we are doing a Zoom call interview like this, like we are talking now, this frame that you are seeing is all that you can see and know me. You don't know who I am. You don't know what my background is. You don't know anything about me. This is all that is there. Now, I don't know when you kids go for interviews, will it be this, or you'll be sitting near an interview panel. Even when you're sitting near an interview panel, that moment that you're sitting there, your presence is all you have. When you are applying for an interview, there are 500, 600 people interviewing for the post. Why on earth will the HR panel pick you? What have you given them extra? What have you showed them? And then you'll come back home saying, I know all of it, but I'm still not offered the job. So these are the things that we will be covering in the next couple of hours. That is, the program will, of course, be laid down by Rahul and Akshay, I think. We will be covering how to appear in an interview, except for the subject matter knowledge that you have. How do you crack an interview? What is it that an interviewer is looking for, especially when you are a fresher? They don't expect you to know a lot about the subject matter and that much of knowledge and that thing. They're looking for something else in you. What are you adding to yourself and to the organization? And in that half an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes of interview, how are you going to portray that? How are the interview people, the 2-3 people sitting there is going to know about you? These are something that we'll be touching on. We'll be doing a lot of role plays. We will be doing, like Geetanjali ma'am said, we'll be doing, mock interviews. And we'll try and see if we can get certain experts who will be conducting certain interviews, giving you feedback. We will try and package it in a way that tomorrow when you go sit for an interview, you're much more capable of cracking an interview. Rahul, if you don't mind, there are certain, heads up or rules and regulations that I would like to set up for the coming couple of hours. I don't know. Okay, thank you. I don't know if it's possible or not, but I think it would be good if we can have the video on and audio off. No side talks, no chatting. The understanding of the importance of these hours that we are putting together, we have got together and put together, the understanding of the importance of this program will be the key to go and crack the interviews. It's going to make a difference. So yes, show up with a notepad, physical notepad if you want, or a page in the laptop, anything. And be attentive. I'm going to try and keep it as interactive as possible so that you can ask questions where in doubt, and in fact, I would like to talk. I would like to see how you people talk. That would be nice. So yes, this is what I think we'll be doing in the next couple of hours. I think for now, this is all I had to say. Rahul?
Yes, all right, ma'am. That was a good overview, basically, that what we are going to cover. Basically, apart from the technicalities, what we are going to cover and what plays a very crucial and important role in shaping the careers. So, I think if we are done with the overview, then we have to open up for the FAQs part. And I think we can unmute a couple of participants who can just ask their doubts or who want to interact with you or Gitanjali ma'am. So yeah, I think we can. Guys, if anyone is having any concerns, any questions related to the program, feel free to raise your hand so that we can unmute yourself and you can just interact directly to clarify your doubts. Mitesh is putting something in chat box that not from the corporate background. So I think he's trying to ask that if someone is not from the corporate background, how much value the program is going to add into their resume or maybe into their overall preparation. Ma'am, can you please throw some light on that?
Not from the corporate background, even then, there is a necessity of cracking the interview. That does not depend on are you from a corporate background or will you be going to work in a corporate world. The idea is, see, people who are taking you up for a job, the HR people or people who are employing you, yes, they're looking forward to your knowledge, they're looking forward to your grooming. But at the end of the day, we need to understand that these are people, human beings, and they have the, what do I say, condition of liking you or not liking you. And that is one place where we cannot help. We have to appear it that way, that we have to package ourselves in a certain matter that in that 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or half an hour, they'll end up liking us. So even if you're not from a corporate background, but you want to crack an interview, get a job, this program is going to be helpful.
I think that answers. And I think there's someone who is raising hand as well. If you don't mind, can we unmute Agnivesh? Yes, Agni, you can go ahead.
Actually, I have raised the last time when Geetanjali madam was asking about the passion about the accounting. Not right now. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And ma'am, another interesting question someone have raised is that how to impress the interviewer.
We will answer all those questions once the session comes. It's not very difficult,
That's
trust me.
true. That's true. So Junaid, if you wanted to know more about that, I'll request you to please attend Devasmita ma'am session. And someone is raising a query that in this program helpful to crack interviews even when you are not a qualified CMA or CPA.
See, for interview, I would say there are levels. Obviously, you have to clear the qualification level first. Only then you will move to the other rounds, right? So, if you are a BCom and the interview needs the qualification related to that, then obviously they will select. Otherwise, depends.
All right, hope that answers. Yeah, because most of them who are joining this program, not everyone is qualified CPA and CMA. So some of them are from that kind of audience who are just started CPA or who just started CMA. So they're just wondering if we are not a qualified CPA and CMA, so how much, whether we are going to place or not. So that's how the question come across. Thank you, ma'am, for answering. I think that answers. And again, the another question is, can we charm our way inside the organization? Devashmita ma'am.
Yes, you can. There is lots of grooming and personality building and the scaffolding of characters that will go into charming your way to the organization. And like I said, the next couple of hours that we have planned will answer all this.
All right.
Since you're so
So
interested in charming your way, I will see to it that you do.
Nice.
that's true. And all right. So if you're planning for CPA and have not given any exam yet, uh, again the same question I guess that have come across some time ago. Is this session also includes discussion with HR on compensation phase as well? Akshay, what do you say?
Sorry, Rahul, I lost you. Can you repeat the question again?
Sure, Akshay. Akshay, someone is raising, is this session also teaches that how to talk or negotiate about the compensation part with HR?
No, I don't think so, because compensation would, as Geetanjali ma'am rightly said, it depends on the various levels which you are applying for. For example, for a staff level, there would be certain CTC constraints where they have to talk in that aspects only. They cannot go beyond that. So it totally depends on the way they are doing the interview, they are performing in the interview, and the role dynamism also will be there, Rahul. So we cannot comment that there would be room for negotiation. At the same time, I cannot tell that you cannot negotiate. So it depends on the portfolio as well as the interview and everything. So, Geetanjali ma'am, do you have anything to add on this?
I would like to add one thing, but it do happens that you have to say yourself that yes, I am worth that. Whenever, if suppose they are saying 6 lakhs, be that confident. No, ma'am, it should be 7 lakhs. Okay. Be confident about your study. Be confident about everything, like why you deserve this job. Okay, then you will get it. Then the HR will also feels okay, he or she is confident enough, he deserves 50,000, 1 lakh, they do up and down, it do happens.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I think compensation is something, obviously it matters, but I don't think candidates have to think much about that, because our corporate relations team and HR team, placement team, basically Akshay is itself there, who are day and night, putting a lot of efforts into that. So we would advise attend the program, gather all the things, organize yourself, and give best in your interview. For those aspects, we are there.
And
And all right,
I would
next
like to
question.
add one more
Yes,
thing.
ma'am.
What is this Samarth program? Actually, if you see at a broader level, for one post, if 2 lakh people are coming, all are CPAs. Let's imagine all are CPAs. How will you select the best 5 out of them? There should be something extra so that you are able to cross them, okay, over. Because sitting at home, I feel I am the best because I have done USCPA. Okay, I have scored 98. You don't know, maybe the others one have scored 100 out of 100. Then what? Okay, but your knowledge plus how you appear in the interview, you can somehow, you can outshine that person also who has scored 100. If your confidence level is high and if the way you present in the interview is high, then you can overshine that person also. That thing can also take place. That is what, why this Samarth program is there. This will teach you, guide you through that.
That's correct. That's correct, ma'am. And coming to the next question, I think someone have raised a query that he or she only knows Telugu and come from a Telugu background. So how easy it would be to learn English and to build a good and better communication skills. So, ma'am, any inputs
Uh,
on that?
yeah, Rahul. In fact, I have did separate out a few moments to talk about it. What I'll say about English is that if you do not know English, it will be very difficult for you to crack a job interview or get a job. Let's be very candid here. Secondly, if you are willing to put in the effort and hard work, it is very easy to pick up English. The reason English is a language which the whole world speaks is because it is a very easy language to pick up. That's why the entire world speaks English. So I will discuss a few pointers on how you can pick up English, but yes, you will need to put in your effort and hard work. And it's possible, yes.
All right. So faith and hope is always there, and I would not say faith and hope, but complete surety is even there. So just attend our sessions, Devasmita ma'am session, and we'll get to know each and everything. All right. I can see a lot of questions here, and again, one question is there that I am a CA, but due to bad experiences in my previous organization, I'm a bit low,
Mm.
and I don't have much confidence. So, how can I, best in the interviews, and will I be able to overcome my interview fear? So, ma'am, any take on this?
I think this question is by someone named Eva. Yes, Eva, we will work on it. Why not? We will definitely work on it. You are low on confidence, and that is something very workable. Everyone becomes low on confidence one time or the other. So we'll work on it. We'll pull you through. Let's see.
Okay. Another question related to communication skills only, that if we are just studying and sitting in home, we are not interacting much with people, we are not going much outside, then how can we improve our communication skills? Just in sitting, I'm just sitting in home and I'm just studying. That's my daily routine.
So there certain efforts will need to be made, and a good point, in fact. So I'll see if I can incorporate that in the program. If you're sitting at home and not communicating, then we'll have to find a way of communicating even while you sit at home. So let's see. We'll do that as well.
All right. And another question someone is raising is that what are the qualities which recruiters are looking nowadays, basically in accounting and finance and US taxation and US audit. So, what are the most of the qualities and parameters which recruiters are actively looking nowadays? Akshay, would you like to take this?
Yeah, Rahul. The only quality which I see, and when I'm talking to the HR, they look at whenever it is with the accounting professionals, it is their cognitive and analytical thinking. As analytical thinking is the key thing whenever they're working in accounts and finance. That's the main quality which they look at, and their attention to detail. And the second one is the learning curve, how quickly they can adapt to things, how quickly they can understand the process. This is what they usually look at.
All right. Thank you so much, Akshay, for that. And I think that answers. Next question is, all right. So Sikha is asking, ma'am, I was working as an assistant professor from last 6 years, and now my age is 34. So is the age really matter in corporates, or basically while we are switching our career to the corporates? Akshay?
Rahul, there's nothing called as age criteria or anything once you're truly fit for the role. But sometimes for the certain roles, they do have certain restrictions for the age because that job is so dynamic that they have to ensure that they are being in that place. They're shifting hours, they're working hours, the shifts and all, everything, every business has its peaks and valleys, right? So for that reason, some profiles have age constraints, but few profiles are there where we are seeing people at the age of 43, 45 clearing their CPS and getting their careers upskilled. So I don't think age wouldn't be a matter for them to look at. They just have to focus on upskilling themselves and then ensure that they are giving their best in the interview.
Yeah, that's really correct, because we also have example of Sita Ravi ma'am and all kind of examples who got placed into that age. So there is no age of getting demotivated, but at the same time there are certain age requirements into certain profiles. So all right, and the next question is, will there be any mock JD, a mock interview? Again, one question is like related to age only, that my age is 27. I have 0+ work experience. So can I make start my career now?
Yes, you can, Rahul. It wouldn't be a problem. They can actually. So I think Devasmita ma'am can give us some more insights on how we are focusing on branding aspect. Devasmita ma'am, we are doing some sessions related to LinkedIn as well. Right? So if you can let us know how
Yes.
we are structuring so that people can also start working on it.
Yes, branding aspects, like I kept an entire session day for a branding aspect, and we will talk about people who are saying, I'm starting my career late or I have no job qualification. The branding of it, how you use social media, and including how you present yourself in all respect of the social media counts as your branding. We will be talking about branding and what it means in general, and how you can package yourself in a branding manner so that all these hurdles are answered. Actually, I do not want to go very much into details right now because I have a full session on that. We'll talk about branding.
All right. So I think we already spoken about the schedule in the a pre-session of Saamarth, but I think there we have only 150 people, and I think the numbers have been doubled here. So let me quickly share my screen and share the schedule as well. So people who are like just looking into the schedule for the very first time can get little bit clarity on the schedule part. So just a moment, guys. I hope my screen is visible. Akshay, is my screen is visible?
Yes, Rahul, it is.
All right. So, guys, this is our entire Saamarth workshop schedule, which you can see is overall a combination of soft skills, transitional aspects, as well as accounting and finance, as well as auditing, US taxation, tech and finance, post job, as well as the interview sessions, right? So if you see today we are standing into the orientation session that we are covering and we're talking more about the overview of Saamarth workshop, what are the key takeaways from the Saamarth workshop and what are the technicalities involved in that and how the entire workshop is going to be. Post that we have, and I just wanted to add a disclaimer into this schedule that the schedule is subject to changes. It can be session of the number of sessions can actually increase or decrease as per the requirements and feedbacks of candidates as well as the faculties. So, but yeah, what all sessions in the schedule we have is first thing we are going to start with the profile understanding and building. So everyone have going through the orientation session, and we also have some period material that is going to upload into the portal along with this orientation video. Therein we are also going to run a separate survey form wherein you have to mention your own uh, your own domain. Like since now you have registered, so you have to mention your own domain, that which profile you are targeting for, whether you're targeting for accounting and finance, whether you are targeting for uh, or auditing, or whether you're targeting for US taxation or maybe any other profile, right? Accordingly, what we have is first before we build up our profile, it's very important to understand the profile. So we are going to more talk about the profile understanding and then building by Devasmita ma'am. It contains a lot of subtopics which I'm not going to talk about, and Devasmita ma'am will be more right person who will be talking uh, into that in much depth in the later phase. Second, we have a company research and interview preparation. So as you know, the growing importance talks about the company research, right? Before we join any organization, it's very important to know about that organization, to feel that this organization is my organization and this is something where I wanted to be. So if we don't know the organization much, it's get really difficult to uh, get win the trust of the recruiters, and to uh, make recruiters understand that we are aware about the thing. So company research plays a very vital role, and we are going to cover that along with the interview preparation. Then we have everything about the communication. So in this we are going to cover a lot about the communication, which Vishmita ma'am will talk later. Then we have sessions on basics of accounting. Many people always raise a point when they join PAR orientation session as well, that if I'm not from accounting background, how I'm going to, grasp the concept related to accounting. So that is the reason we already have done a lot of basic accounting session, but we're also going to conduct a basic of accounting session over there, so that people who are from non-accounting backgrounds, or maybe people who are from non-accounting backgrounds starting their career uh, after a lot of after a gap, a huge gap, so they can just go through this basic accounting session, followed by the ratio analysis and working capital management. These are the things, these are the aspects which have been tested into very huge scale. Followed by we have IFRS and US GAAP, and then we have a mock interview for this accounting and finance section. After that, we have, as you all know, we have some special guest faculties who are going to come into the session to deliver into, to throw some light into various important topics. Out of this, the first guest faculties are all Sripal sir, uh, which I think everyone is aware about. So Sripal sir is going to talk about the future of finance, like how to read annual report. And I think that is very well said, that future of finance lies in the annual report, because annual report plays a very vital role. And if we don't know how to read that, how to interpret that, how to analyze that, it's going to be really difficult. And that is the reason we have this special session. Next, we have basics of auditing. And post basics of auditing, we have auditing in industry by our guest faculty, Ankush Yadav sir. Followed by the basics of US tax, and then US tax in industry. That is by our guest faculty, Lalita ma'am. Lalita ma'am is going to join today, but unfortunately, due to some technical emergency, she is not able to join today. But you'll hopefully see her into the US tax and industry session. Then you have a session on daily working suits, and I can see many people are already raising this concerns that what is going to cover into the daily working suit. So we all know, like the tools that we use in our daily life, like Outlook, or maybe the Google suite, or like Microsoft Office suite, right? But just to be honest in this stage, um, nothing to criticize anyone, but it's very important to know that how to write an efficient email, efficient proposal email, efficient business email into the Outlook, right? Because that plays a very vital role. One bad email leaves a very bad impression. One good email can make you into the top. So all the things are going to cover into the daily working suit. Apart from this, we are also going to cover certain important tools which we have in the accounting and all those things. Apart from this, we have importance of data and data analytics. When we talk about the importance of data, so data really plays a very, very important role. And when we specifically talking about the finance sector, because if we don't have data, we cannot work into the financing. And if we don't know how to interpret data, how to read data, how to analyze data, we are not going to decide what will be the impact of finance. So that plays a very crucial role, and that is also going to cover into the session. Next, we have professional life, again by Devasmita ma'am. In this, uh, once we get the job, uh, how the course is going to be, and I'm not going to talk much. Devasmita ma'am will talk about that. Next, we have interview experience sharing. As you all know, uh, with the efforts of Akshay, with the efforts of Sripal, many of the people have already got placed into, got an internship into this course, got a full-time opportunities into various MNCs, and also in the overseas placements as well, right? So those alumni are going to come into that particular session, and they're going to share their own experience, that how their experience was, and how the Simandhar, how they have prepared for the interview, and how Simandhar have played a very vital role in that. So this is going to all talk about, like if we are talking that this is the thing how you have to do, how you have to do, that doesn't make much sense. But when people who have already cleared the support system and their hard work, that will make more sense, and they will give you a good overview of that. Next, you have a mock interviews, and you have a mock interviews into that, wherein the industry experts and the real interview panel will come in picture, and we'll have mock interviews for the people who will successfully complete all the sessions and reach to the parameters. And post that, we also have the placement assistance for the people who are successfully going to, qualify this program. And yeah, all the best guys. This is the overview of the details that we have in today's eve for the Saamarth workshop. Hope it clarifies. Any questions further to this? Feel free to approach or feel free to raise your hand so that we can clarify.
Rahul, you can stop your screen sharing.
I think couple of questions. I was in corporate and then okay, I am a fresher in Dubai, brought up pursuing CPA. Although I wish to work in India, most people encourage me to work here Dubai itself because of the competition and so forth in India. But honestly, I feel there are more opportunities there. How do I groom myself to face situations like change in place, corporate culture, and cracking the interview? Devasmita ma'am.
Yes, Sindhu, we will talk about that as well. It's a very important question where you raised, where we are talking about cross culture and getting along in a professional life that's beyond borders. So this, especially when we will be talking of corporate lives, and these days we know when we speak of corporate lives, it's not just India. Most of the time, this corporate work goes across the border. So how do you behave? How do you groom yourself up? How do you adapt to different cultures? Some basic, what do you call it? The basic system of doing that is something we will be discussing. And it's a very good question. Yes. Don't worry, I have it covered.
All right, I think that answers. Uh, Next, who we have. I think I have read enough of the questions, and if now people are interested to talk, people can raise their hand, and we can unmute you guys to interact and directly clarify the doubts from faculty. Come on, guys, please raise your hand so that I can unmute you. All right, I can see couple of hands there. Sushmita, you're allowed to talk.
Hello, Rahul. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So, I wanted to know more about the hosts that are there with us. I specifically wanted to know if they landed in the job they are in right now by choice or post they getting into it, then they started liking it. So, if that could be answered, it would be really helpful. Thank you.
Sushmita, when you say hosts, you're talking about me and Gitanjali ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, okay. If you want to know a little about my journey, I was doing my corporate life. I was in a corporate, uh, to be specific, GE and then WNS for quite some time. I worked there. After I got my kid, I left the job. I didn't want to, etc., etc. And then I started my profile as a ghost writer. So
Oh,
if you know what a ghostwriter is, um, ghostwriter is you want to write a book, but you don't have time, you don't know how to write, etc. Like Saurav Ganguly wrote a book. Like
okay.
what do you call it? Sachin Tendulkar wrote a book. They don't usually sit and write a book. They hire someone like us to write a book
All right.
and pay us, and they publish the book in their name. So I was doing ghostwriting in the meantime. Somehow, with a friend's influence, got myself into a course of NLP training or neurological part training. From there on, my journey as a coach and a counselor started because that really turned my trajectory. I
Oh,
was really, really interested in it. I started building myself up, and yeah, this is where I am right now. Do I
all
enjoy my job? Yes, I enjoy my job. And yes, I do it by choice.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much for this insight of yours.
Welcome, Sushmita.
Sushmita, if you want to know about my journey also, I guess
Yes,
she
ma'am.
was asking for both.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
What's the bit?
Okay, so I did my CA and I cleared the campus placement and got placed in the Infosys. After that, I joined as an internal auditor in DM Pharmaceuticals in Chandigarh. After that, I started along with the job, started preparing for USCPA, and then I got placed in Hewlett Packard in Bangalore. After that, I got married, and now I am in Jammu and Kashmir, and I am a full-time partner in. There is a one Jammu-based firm here. So on and off, there are audits and all coming. So I am mostly engaged in that. And on Saturday, Sundays, I am working as a faculty with the Simandhar education.
Okay, okay. All right, ma'am. Thank you very much for the insight.
Geetanjali, that's a background of Jammu and Kashmir on the screen.
Yes, ma'am, that's Jammu and Kashmir. This is Pahalgam.
This is too beautiful, too
Vacation
beautiful.
it is. It seems like a vacation for you.
I know. It's amazing.
Yes, actually, we are at present, my husband is looking after the Amarnath Yatra. So we are here at Pahalgam.
Okay. Nice to you, ma'am. Last month I was in uh, Himachal Pradesh for a checking. So
Okay.
yes, I'd been to Chandatar Lake. We climbed for like 16,000 feet high.
That is also very beautiful area in
Yeah,
Himachal.
very pretty the way it was.
Yeah, just to add on, like Gitanjali's ma'am husband is actually a bureaucrat, so she's also involved in a lot of social works, and she's associated with NGOs as well. All right, I can see couple of more raised hand, and okay, Johanna, you're allowed to talk.
Thank you, Rahul. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we
Yes,
can hear
Johanna,
you.
go ahead.
So my question to you, ma'am, is, in an in-person interview, we have the opportunity to engage with the interviewer. We are physically present in the room, so, with our open hand actions and our eyes and our smile, we are able to put our points a little bit better across. But sometimes in a virtual interview, we get distracted with the things around. We have wavering eyes. Sometimes there are these tiny things that kind of get us distracted from the actual feeling of the interview. Any pointers on how to behave in a virtual interview as compared to an in-person interview?
Yes, Johanna, there is in fact lots of pointers. And yes, when I will be covering it, I have specifically made sections where we will be addressing that. And like I said initially, when we are doing a Zoom interview or an online interview, this is all we have. While we are sitting in front of the interviewer, our physical presence has a lot of weightage, and it makes a little bit of difference than this two-dimensional screen. So yes, there are pointers, and yes, we will be talking about it a little bit in details.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Johanna.
Another hand is raised by Subhas. So Subhas, you're allowed to talk.
Hello, am I audible?
Hi, Subhash. Yes.
Hello, ma'am. So my doubt is, being a fresher and we don't know which profile we fit in, how do you choose which profile we fit in? Because as a student and a professional is two different things. Like someone may like audit, but in profession they said it's like copy paste job. So how do you choose which profile you fit in as a fresher?
Okay.
Akshay will be taking up. Oh, so Geetanjali, huh?
Okay. For that, I would say that this is what I mentioned, that you have to read the job description properly. Because, for example, in internal auditing, also, there are 100 profiles which can be created. whenever you select a profile, whenever you send your resume for particular application, always first of all see your interest. If it is as per your interests, only then apply for that. In internal auditing, I would say I have seen that also there are near about 20-30 jobs possible. Similarly, in the accounting, in fixed assets only there are 40-50 profiles created. So first of all, read the job description properly and then apply. When you will read the job description, you will know what knowledge is required. Okay, which topics you will be working on in your office, which are the topics you will be working on, so accordingly you can apply.
Thank you, ma'am.
But I hope that answers. And couple of more hands. So guys, we approached to 8 p.m. actually, and the settled time is actually over. But we'll just take couple of more questions in another 5 minutes. So feel free to raise your hand. I think the next is Sarvari.
Hello. Hi. Am I audible?
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Yes,
Go
you
ahead.
are.
Ma'am, I have a question. This is specifically regarding answering questions during interview. So what happens is at times you are very well prepared for the interview. You know what to answer and how to answer. But by seeing an interviewer himself, you start fearing and you forget everything in the meanwhile. So how to tackle such situations? Like I have faced that during my EY interview, but somehow I got sailed. But I'm like again having a fear to face the same kind of situations. So can you just help me?
Uh, Rahul, in fact, we are getting too many questions of this nervousness in interview kind of a thing. Sharbari, yes, this is a very, I think I should say a common phenomena. So
Yeah.
we will, I didn't plan on executing an exercise around that, but I will put that in the program and we will do something about it, a simulation, let's say.
Yeah.
Remind me when this program comes up. I will take an interview of you and let's see how your nervousness works out. Me and
Sure.
Geetanjali ma'am and probably Akshay will grill you. And
Sure,
let's see
ma'am.
how you take it from there. And we will simulate an exercise which will help you with what you just mentioned is nervousness.
Sure, ma'am.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I think that answers. Alright, Devjit, please go ahead.
Hello. Thank you, Rahul. And hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
Actually,
Devdeep.
yeah, actually, I have a question that I have 12 years of experience in Indian private limited companies. So my question is when I will be looking for job in Big Fours or MNCs, so at that time, will this experience be counted or I will be treated as a fresher?
Uh, Akshay will take up that question, no? Or Rahul.
Can you repeat your question once again, Devjit?
Yeah,
I'm sorry
actually,
for that.
I have 12 years of experience in Indian private limited companies. Okay, so I don't have any experience in MNCs or Big Fours. So my question is when I will be seeking for job in Big Fours or MNCs, at that time, my this previous experience will be counted or I will be taken as a fresher.
Depends on the role you're going, David. So, and it also depends on the CTC what you're holding. So if
Okay,
qualified CPA is holding a good CTC, then if you're falling in the same range, they might negotiate on your level as well. If you're good at the
okay.
interviews and all, they might give you,
Mhm.
instead of giving a staff level, they might give you a senior level, but then the compensation might be affected. So it would be vice versa depending on the role which you're applying for. If something, for example, if there is a company who's thinking that there would be some relevance of the experience that you're working, they would consider it, but it's not guaranteed that they for sure consider your profile.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you.
Alright, Nikhil, please go ahead.
Hi Rahul, Akshay, Devasmita ma'am, and Geetanjali ma'am. My question is to you, Devasmita ma'am. Uh, how do we tackle stress interviews if we are in one?
Stress interviews. Okay, what do you mean by stress interviews, Nikhil? Am I talking to Nikhil?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
while we are interviewing, the interviewers say he purposely ignores us. He sips a coffee, he's on a call, or he's putting us under stress. Despite we being confident, he's trying to bring us down.
Nikhil, there is nothing called stress interview. Stress is something you will feel only if you allow yourself to feel. So never mind what the interviewer is trying to do, trying to throw you off or trying to check your confidence level, whatever it is the interviewer trying to do. If you know your subject matter, if you know your job description, if you know you fit in, that's about all you need to do. Let the interviewer do whatever they want to. You have your place.
Got it,
You
got it.
stick there.
And it'll be great if you can share the agenda broadly covering the topics which you'll cover um, beforehand.
Really? I don't think so. I'll take it in a flow, Nikhil.
Acha. Okay,
I'll not break the flow. I'll take it in a flow and you'll enjoy it. Lots
okay.
to learn.
Awaiting that. And Geetanjali ma'am, आपका background is awesome. Really,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. I think yes. Now we can just put one last, take one last question, and probably we have to end up this session because we are running already out of time. But yeah, I think people are still having some doubts. So one last question. Um, Last question is from Mahima. Mahima, can you please go ahead?
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Mahima.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
My question is mainly to Devasmita ma'am. Ma'am, so my background, so I don't have any corporate exposure as of now, but I did do my apprenticeship, and at that time I instilled a fear of doing job because it was kind of stressful at the time. So will we be discussing that too? Because a lot of people, you know, put a negative connotation sometimes with corporate life. And because I've been through it and I do want to get into it, but then there is this fear because I experienced something of that sort.
Okay, fine. Let's touch upon it. Though, when you say you have a fear of it and the stress of a corporate life, Mahima, there is nothing separately called corporate life stress. Imagine if you had been a journalist or an actress, you
Mhm.
would have similar kind of stress differently. So it's really not any outside force putting stress on you. It's how you manage yourself. So
True.
yeah, self-management is something I did put in the program, and we will talk about it, and hopefully it will, address this part of your query.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
All right. I think that's all we have from today's session, and wherein I think you all the participants have get a good overview of the entire Saamarth workshop, and the doubts are also getting clarified. But I would like to add one or two disclaimer over there that more session you will attend, more things you will grab, and the more doubts you have now when you are starting off with the session, the more doubts will get resolved, and you will become more solved as a personality when you end up with this program after the 40 plus hours, when we are actually talking about in the closing mate, or when we have the last session, right? So I think that clarifies, that serves the purpose. And thank you so much to everyone for the participant from the participant side for such a huge responses. I can see still there are 270 participants on this call, and when we started, we almost started with 370 people. So thank you so much to all the 370 participants who have joined this session. And thank you so much to the speakers, panelists who have joined the session, Devasmita ma'am, Geetanjali ma'am, Akshay. Thank you very much for joining the session. Before we end up the session, is there anything like Devasmita ma'am or Geetanjali ma'am or Akshay, would you like to add anything before we end up the session?
I would like to add that once the session starts, focus less on taking notes and focus more on absorbing what we are telling you and enjoying it, so that throughout the 40 hours of session, I promise what my agenda is, because I'm doing the soft skill part of it, is to bring out the real you, the subdued, the subdued part and all years dealt with, and for the real you to emerge. Like you're talking of nervousness, like you're saying, I haven't done corporate job, etc. So focus on enjoying it. 40 hours should be fun, and by the end of 40 hours, you should be prepared to attend interviews.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Anything from Akshay?
Yeah, and I'll ensure that I'll get lot more of interviews to all our students. Like we have the businesses and done right. So I think most of the corporates are coming to us for the placements and all. So once the session and everything is going on, we'll try to get more panelists. We'll try to get more mock interviews going on, and we'll try to get more job opportunities for us and the students. So that's all we can do from our end. So the rest is with the students. We have put them everything, either from the technical side, non-technical side, opportunity side. Everything is right in front of them. They just need to grab the opportunity, and with the right commitment and discipline, I'm sure that they'll fly out with beautiful colors. That's all. Thank you.
That's true, that's true. And collective
What I have seen is that people know about the topics in the accounts, like there is depreciation to be charged. But what is the real reason behind it, behind current assets, why we are recording everything? So I will try to take in like why we are doing all these things, what is the logic behind the things we are learning in the accounting. So I will be touching all those things in detail.
yeah, that's very much important, ma'am, because generally we study, but we don't know when we have to apply and how to apply. So I think we're going to play a very vital role over there. And again, I must say, you all the participants are very much lucky that you guys have got such a kind of good speakers and faculties. And as Devasmita ma'am have mentioned, it's going to be a lot of fun and with fun with learning in this 40 plus hours, and we are going to be job ready. And when Akshay have said, so Akshay commitment is commitment, man behind the super 50 device intensive. So yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining this session once again. Thank you so much to participants and panelists for really coming here and sharing their insights that really add value, I think, and all the participants who are hearing over there. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.